Everyone, it is Sunday afternoon and it's the Cruising Connects live, and something is off, as you can see. Let's get to that in just a second. Well, cheers, everybody. Happy American Thanksgiving. And as you can see, I am solo right now, which is really good because that means I can have like snacks, I've got drinks, I've got everything going on here. And yeah, we are doing something a little bit different today. So don't worry. Mrs. Canuck is joining us with the marvels of technology. I can just see on on the other end there that she's got a little bit of a challenge in the room there. I'm just waiting for us to go live. And oh, just a second. We're almost there. I think we got the technology figured out. And for the first time ever, we're going to go with. Here we go. Mrs. Canuck, we're going to bring her in.
Hi,
There we go.
everyone.
The technology's working.
Yay. Hopefully you can see and hear
We are
me.
in
Yes.
different houses today.
We are. Yeah, I decided to
We
leave.
gotta have a little bit of a pause between the two of us, so it might get a little bit confusing. So when one mouth stops, the other one will maybe hopefully start at the right time.
All right. So yes, I had just finished doing a 3-hour drive, and I am now at my daughter's house with my grandbaby. They needed a little help with babysitting, so I came here for grandma duty today, and I'll be here for the next couple of days. So I was going to do the live and then drive here this evening, but of course, Northern Ontario, Canada weather. The snow started, so my weatherman, Mr. Canuck, thought it was best for me to get on the highway and get here before it got even worse. So I'm here, safe and sound, after a very long, not fun car ride.
Yes, so she arrived safe and sound. So I am in the Cruising Canuck studio all by myself. I got a whole house. There might even have to be some football turned on later today because today is Man's Day in our house. So Bruno and I are going to enjoy some football after the live. So like a lot of you are doing, I'm sure, down in the States. So a couple housekeeping things. We'll run through those real fast. And then we're going to get to today's topic, which is all about Black Friday deals. Have you found some? We want to know if you found some because I'm having a tough time navigating it all. And we've got some examples here. And we've also have 2 more cruises that we booked that we're going to talk to you about. Kind of ties into Black Friday, but not really. But before we get to that, we are going to, whoops, I think I clicked the wrong one. Black Friday's today? Yes, that's right. This past week. That's what I'm looking for. So we have 2 more vlogs. The first 2 vlogs for our Mediterranean venture came out. We were embarking in Barcelona. And then we also were in Toulon, France. So you saw a little bit of that. And Mrs. Canuck's wearing something, I think, from that second vlog.
So yeah, if you watched the vlog, you would see that I bought this in Toulon, France. This silk scarf is very nice, very soft little scarf. Anyways, yeah, so I thought I'd put it on for today's live show. It's the first time I've worn it.
And in those first 2 vlogs, you hopefully have found 2 letters already. And we are doing Journey to the Secret Word. And this time we're not looking for a single word. We are looking for 3 words that make a phrase. So watch for those letters. And it's funny, we've had a few people comment already saying, are you trying to hide them a little bit better now because we're having a tough time? I don't think we are. I think they're the same. So.
Yeah, no, I don't think we didn't purposely make them more difficult, but if they are, then sorry. But yeah, we haven't tried to.
And that's what was out last week. So those 2 videos are already out now if you haven't seen them. And this week we are going to Genoa in Italy. So that'll be our 3rd day on board. And then the craziness starts. So get ready. The 4th day we were supposed to be in Livorno to go to Florence. And for those that have seen our lives and our updates throughout the cruise when we were in the Mediterranean, that did not happen because one of the biggest windstorms in a long time hit Europe and specifically the Mediterranean. And so you're going to see through our vlogs what we experienced as things started to happen that day and later that night on when we were supposed to be in Livorno, and actually the night of Genoa we started to find out information about it. So
yeah,
you're going to get to see Mrs. Canuck sad when she finds out she's not going to Florence.
Yeah, I loved Florence when we were there last year, so that was a bit of a disappointment for sure. Probably even the next canceled port was even more of a disappointment because it was a place we had never been before, and we haven't gone there yet. But oh well, we were safe. The captain and the crew and everybody looked after us well, and it all ended up being fine.
Yeah, I do. You're still on a cruise ship, so we always say that's a good place to be, even during a storm or not. That's the place to be. So, yeah. So before we get started, I think we're gonna go. We have a whole bunch of comments and people checking in, so I think we're gonna roll with that. As we're rolling with those comments and questions, I'm sure there's gonna be people talking about Black Friday stuff. So as that comes up, I think we'll just roll that into the theme as we go through the questions. And then a little bit later on, we'll talk a little more about the cruises that we have started to book for 2024. So we've had a tough time finding stuff to book, to tell you the truth. We're still trying to figure out our schedule, but we've started to fill in a few of the holes for 2024. So that's exciting for us for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So comments, let's go right to the top. And it looks like Francine is the first one in. And she's saying hi from Rockland and wants to know how many hours it takes for me to edit one of our vlogs. So
a lot.
It takes a long time. So like, for example, today I started working on the Genoa vlog. I started about, just after 9 o'clock this morning. And I stopped just before this. So I've been at it with 3 or 4 hours. And all that time, all I've managed to do is get the 360 footage figured out that I want to use for the vlog. I have managed to get through getting a rough piecing together all the different parts of the videos to I got kind of a beginning and an end now. But that's just the very beginning. Now I have to go back through and get the audio figured out so you can hear us. I have to go through and make sure the coloring looks right so we don't kind of look funny or everything isn't blown out or too dark. And then after that, there has to be some putting the timestamps on there, all that type of stuff. So I guess what I'm saying to you is I'm already 3 or 4 hours in. That's probably the beginning of a stage that takes in the neighborhood of, I want to say 10 to 12 hours from beginning to end to edit a video. So yeah, it takes, when I get out 2 a week, as you can imagine, I'm also working a full-time job. And so I'm putting at least 3 or 4 hours every single day to be able to get the next vlog out in time for the one that's coming up next.
Yeah.
So
he literally has 2 full-time jobs right now, guys. That's definitely how it looks and works out in our life.
Yeah. And luckily the technology makes it a little bit easier. So like when we have, on some days we have 4 or 5 cameras. We also have microphones and all that stuff has to be synced up and worked out and figured out. So yeah, a lot of it is the technology helps, but the technology being more complicated also makes it a little more finicky to make sure we get it right. So it's a process, but luckily I get to relive the vacation. So today, all morning long, I have been in Italy, in Genoa, remembering what we did that day. And it was kind of a really neat experience. So even though I'm here with the snow in Canada, part of me is in Italy today based on what I saw from the vlog. I'm getting ready to come out early this week.
Yeah, that's much better than me following a snowplow for 2 hours going 20 kilometers an hour.
So next comment is Gates and Sheila, our friends that we met on the Mediterranean cruise we spent a lot of time with. And they're saying that they are interested to know whether we found any worthwhile Princess Black Friday deals. Did you, Mrs. Knack?
I was just going to say, I spent quite a few hours trying to find deals, and every time I would get to the final price of what was supposed to be a great deal, it was no different than the price I had checked a week or 2 before. A couple of times it was actually a few $100s more. So myself personally, I found no Black Friday deals. I'm not sure if some of you guys watching had better luck. Hopefully you did than we did. I know we had a few Patreon members message last night saying that they found a good deal. So that's great for them. But yeah, we haven't had much luck at our end of the house.
Yeah, I did make a little bit of a list of different deals that I found this morning to see what all the different cruise lines were offering. So I'm kind of curious, and it's really tough because a lot of times, even when it's not Black Friday, you go on a website and it says 35% off all fares, for example. And when you price it out, it doesn't feel much different than a normal price when you're on their site. So Princess, for example, they're advertising up to 50% off, and I think 3rd and 4th guests for free. But yeah, as Mrs. Canuck said, when I went through and clicked a few of the cruises we've kind of been trying to keep an eye on for 24 and even 25, I really didn't see a big change in price from like 2 weeks ago to now. So,
Mhm.
but what I am seeing is some cruise lines are offering different type of perks. Like for example, a lot of you that watch our vlogs, Cruise Holland America. Holland America has the gratuities included, is now back as part of the Have It All package. So when you figure that, that's at least a couple $100 on a 7-day cruise. You have to consider that kind of against the price that you are saving. There's a Black Friday savings that is actual dollars for you.
Yeah, that's a worthwhile perk that they offer when you can book when they have that included. It financially makes a lot of sense for sure.
Yeah, but it's frustrating because I'm sure all you've been through this where you see something advertised. Like a good example was a Holland America Alaska cruise, spring of 24. I saw it was the base price was like $400 a person. Well, that's not bad. We can get on and do a Holland America. We can even add the Have It All because the base price is so low. I clicked
Yeah.
all the buttons. It went all the way through, and it came out to I think it was $3,500. It all started at $400 was the base
Yeah.
price. Now I'm talking Canadian dollars, so if you're comparing that to American prices, that'd be like almost $3,000. So, but yeah, and we priced the same type of cruises out a couple weeks ago, trying to figure out what we are going to do for 24, and it's really not a big change at all.
No, not at all.
So, yeah,
I think
you
there's
gotta
so many people. Sorry, I was just going to say, I think so many people are cruising now and traveling after, such a long pause that a lot of us experienced that we're not seeing the deals that we're used to seeing prior to the pause in cruising, prior to COVID. We used to always get really good luck booking Black Friday deals prior to that. But last year we didn't. And again, this year we're not seeing it either. So I think it's just sort of a change. They're not having to worry about it because they're selling out those ships. We haven't been on a cruise that hasn't been sold out lately.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a real struggle on price. It all seems to be being able to know your perks. I've heard some ships are offering half excursions, for example, or different type of things like that, and it all does add up if you use those perks when you're on a ship. So that's kind of the stuff that we're seeing more than prices, and it's kind of frustrating when you see the sticker price, then you work all the way through to the end, and it's way different than the sticker price, as we all know. Like from $400, for example, that example I just gave to $3,600, that's 9 times the starting price, which is crazy. Again, I'm talking Canadian dollars, so it might be a little bit different, but it's a challenge when you think you've got a deal and you can't find it. So James and Kimmy Gatter here today.
Hi guys, nice to see you.
I didn't pay attention to the football games that are going on. I don't know if San Fran's playing today for James or not, but I'll find out after this live. So I also found out, speaking of, I don't know if we mentioned this or not. We mentioned this in the live before, that it turns out the Super Bowl is going to be during our group cruise in 2024.
You did. I
Yeah.
believe it was a conversation you were having with James on one of our past lives. So I guess that might be an event during the group cruise.
Here we go. Especially if the Dolphins are playing.
I'm just going to say, I just finished yesterday doing the 10-day sort of group agenda page that I'll be giving everybody at the meet and greet. And so obviously that's going to change because once we get on the ship and we see what's on the Princess Patter, all that kind of stuff, there'll be more things added in there, that sort of thing. But I have a few special events planned just for the ladies. So maybe Mr. Canuck's going to have to do a football themed evening with just the men.
Mm-hmm. For sure. We'll find ourselves a bar, some TVs, and some bar snacks, and we'll have a good time. You can't watch football without the snacks, right? Okay, next question I found here is Ken. Good afternoon from Canada, which is, for those who don't know Ontario geography, that's near Ottawa, really close. And he's watching while working in his wood shop. Well, safety first. Okay. Be careful with those fingers. I wouldn't want you to be distracted because of us. So. And hopefully you got some heat in that wood shop because it's a little chilly here in Ontario today. We have Kylie, who is here from London.
Hi, Kylie.
And for those in Ontario, in Ontario, don't be too confused. That's not London, Ontario. That's on the other side of the Atlantic, I believe.
London, England, for sure. Mm-hmm.
And we have Shannon here from Montreal.
Hi, Shannon.
And Shady Hill Homestead's here. And Nancy Stevens is saying happy football day.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, today is big. Mm-hmm. And oh, we got someone who is here live from the Connings Dam, from Holland America's Connings Dam.
Hi, Camelia. Camila, I hope you're having a great time. Wow. Would be really nice to be at the Dutch Cafe right about now.
Yeah. The Dutch Cafe would be much better than my Doritos, I'm sure.
Doritos. I can't believe he's eating Doritos. Oh.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to know where Camila is today. Today's Sunday, so I wonder if she's just getting on today. I'm not sure if it does a Saturday or Sunday to Sunday out of Los Angeles. So be curious to know. And we have First Nana going to Vancouver. Are there any areas to stay away from? Is public transportation good around BC Stadium?
Ooh.
Do you want to take this one?
I mean, I can tell you that we took public transportation and it seemed very safe and it was really good. I can't specifically comment on BC Stadium because we didn't get off or stay in that area, but I definitely would use their public transportation again in BC, or I mean in Vancouver specifically. Yes.
Yeah, and we found their ticket purchasing machines process a little bit confusing, but once you figure that part out, then the transit seemed pretty easy and reliable and safe for sure. Yeah, never. The only thing that was a little bit off, and I think Paul and Carol touched on this too, is walking the streets of Vancouver sometimes in certain parts of the city can seem a little bit off. There's a fair amount of drug use, and a lot of it is in the open. It's not in a dark alley. It's kind of you're walking by it sometimes, so that's a little bit off-putting. But it's not everywhere, but there is a little bit of that around the city.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think any of that's really a threat. We walked around the city and didn't have any problems. So it wasn't like we were avoiding anything. But yeah, you do see that out of the corner of your eye for sure. But the public transit, we didn't have a problem with. And Andrea is here from New York.
Hi, Andrea.
Jack from Pennsylvania is here. And we're getting some football banter here from Alex. He's saying, "Go Jags" from Jacksonville, Florida. We've cruised out of Jacksonville just once. I'm not sure we'll ever get back there or not because I think it just has Carnival cruises going out of it. It's a nice kind of.
I was just going to say, I think when we did it, it was like a shorter cruise too, like a 4 or 5 day cruise. I don't think they do longer cruises out of there.
And Paulo Brown is saying, "Welcome home." So yeah, we've been home. What have we been home now? I think we've been home just over a week and a half now. So 10 days.
Yeah. I think you're right.
And from Oregon is Scott.
Hi, hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, over on our Patreon Discord site there, we saw pictures of Scott's Thanksgiving spread from I think Thursday. And I'm telling you, it was impressive enough that I might have to get a ticket to fly to Oregon next time he's having Thanksgiving. So
yeah, we were very envious of that meal.
Looked very wonderful. And Peggy is here.
Hi, Peggy.
And Monica is here from Southern California. Oh, someone recognized your scarf. Barbara says she recognized your scarf today.
See? Well, that's good. I can tell you watched the vlogs.
Tony is here.
Hi, Tony.
And go back to that scarf comment there. I'm just flicking back to Barbara. So when I was watching the vlog there, what it reminded me of is that when we walk around Europe, we've gotten into the habit of like not drinking a lot that morning. Like I don't mean alcohol. I mean like water or any liquids at all because it's a tough time finding a washroom sometimes. So as Mrs. Canuck has taken her time of browsing scarves, I'm like parched and all I want to do is get on the ship that I can almost touch because where she bought her scarf was literally within eyesight of the ship right beside us there. So the things I go through for shopping for Mrs. Canuck, I'm telling you.
Such a hardship.
Oh, Peggy recognizes your scarf too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And Sherry says it looks good on you. So lots of scarf comments coming in here.
Well, thank you guys. Yeah,
I don't think I'm wearing.
I'm a sucker for polka dots, and so when I saw the polka dots, I'm like, oh yeah, I have to grab this.
What's here? Z Show, Cruise Fun, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday are great for content creators. Yeah, We wish we could find cheaper cruises for make more content. That's our wish for for the deals we haven't quite found yet. Dave is watching our new vlogs, and this is the same Dave that loved the Sky Princess so much that now he's going on Cunard from now on. He doesn't. He's changing it up. He told us. We wish we could try Cunard too, but it hasn't happened for us yet. We've looked at a couple, but not. We've been so close so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Snacks. I think he wanted. Nancy says that I kicked you out of the house early today, so I could start my snacking early.
You're 100% right, because I can guarantee you right now, if I was sitting next to him, there would not be a bowl of Doritos there while we were doing our live. So yes, he is already up to shenanigans when he knows I am out of the house for a few days. If only Bruno can tell me what happens over the next 72 hours that I'll be gone.
Yeah, and Bruno's not even down here. Without Mrs. Canuck here, Bruno doesn't want anything to do with the live, so he's upstairs sleeping away, and I think he's sleeping waiting for Mrs. Canuck to come home, to tell you the truth. So that's his plan.
Oh, he's probably looking outside the living room window waiting for me to pull back in the driveway. He's going to have a few days of waiting.
Kylie says that she's 2 for 2 with finding the letter so far in the first 2 vlogs.
Good job.
Can't be that tough then. And Sherry is just back from Wrightsville Beach for Thanksgiving to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
All our beaches are starting to freeze up with ice and snow, so it's kind of sad when you go near the water. It's really cold in this time of year in Canada because it's just damp, cold coming in. So, and let's see here. Carol is here. Loves the scarf.
Oh, thank you.
And Sherry enjoyed your first 2 vlogs. And Dave says that he has given up on finding the letters. He says he can't even play Scrabble with 7 letters, so he's not even going for 11. I guess that's what he's saying to you.
It is a bit of a challenge, I think, this time.
Mm-hmm. And we have someone, Dawn here, one of our patrons. She was giving us a heads up a little bit earlier on this, but she is someone who has found a Black Friday deal. So she took advantage of Black Friday deal in Princess. She's going to be joining. Secret Stuff is out. Joining us on the Sun Princess. Oh, hold on. We haven't told anybody we're going to be on the Sun Princess, Dawn.
Well,
how did she know that? So, so on our patrons. The patrons have had a heads up as to some of the bookings we've been doing, and we're coming clean with everyone else today. Now that things are getting firmed up a little bit more, so maybe we'll throw that one out first, since Dawn did for us. So we're going to be on the Sun Princess next fall. So we're excited. Brand new ship from Princess. Total revamp of the Princess concept of all the different public spaces around the ship with the new design. It is a big ship.
I was just going to say, with glass showers in the bathroom, everybody. The shower curtain is going bye-bye. So that makes me happy. I'm looking forward to that.
And wait till you see us vlog the cabin that we have this time. So we are inside, but we are breaking all our rules for inside because we are going to be inside, up high, as far forward on the ship you can get. So like exactly the opposite of what we had on the Enchanted Princess. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully there's no rough weather is what we're hoping. But the positioning is strategic because we are literally going to be right under near that new big dome, and also the kind of a forward kind of pool, relaxing outdoor area. So we're hoping to be able to sneak out and get into that stuff early for our cabin. So so what's that? We are under 12 months, almost 10 months until we get on that ship. So and if you watch social media, we're starting to see a few pictures now of the Sun Princess. It has been out. It's been doing some kind of test runs out in the Adriatic Sea, I believe, on the east side of Italy. And so, it's starting to make a little bit of noise. And in another couple months, it's going to start having its first passengers on board and cruising around Europe for the first part of 24. But we're going to be on it, I think, within the first month of it being back in North America. So we're going to give you kind of an idea what it's like to be on the brand new Princess ship. So we're excited. And we're excited that Dawn's going to be there. And hopefully we're going to have some other patrons joining us as well. And Let's see here. Twyla is here from Southern Ontario.
Hi, Twyla.
And Sherry is saying, so on our vlog coming up, we talked about the storm that impacts our Mediterranean cruise. She was cruising at the exact same time on a different ship, and they didn't get into Rome, or Civitavecchia is the name of the port area you get into, and she missed that day. So when that storm arrives, we don't really say to the vlogs, we didn't really know at the time how big this was and how it was impacting everybody. But cruise ships all around Europe were being stuck in port or stuck at sea, like in our situation. And Sherry was one of those that was also having a tough time with the windstorm in the Med during the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And Peggy is trying to keep up with us. Looks like she has booked 2 cruises in 24.
Nice.
We typically book right around this weekend just because there is deals there, at least perks and stuff that's makes it worth our while to tip the balance over to something we want to book. So, and Warren is here from San Antonio.
Hi, Warren.
Oh, we got someone else that booked a cruise over Black Friday here, Jack. He booked January 24, Holland America, New Statendam in the Western Caribbean. Almost $1,000 cheaper than it was than last February's cruise.
Wow, that's great. Good for you.
And we've been keeping an eye on Holland America. We've done all the newer ships from Holland America, so now we're curious because a lot of people that are loyal to Holland America, they really like the older ships and the older style. So we kind of want to try that out. We're just trying to find the sweet spot to where we can get in and do that class of ship that might line up with an itinerary that we want to do. So hopefully one day we'll be on something smaller. But yeah, because we've done what's this New Statendam. Yeah, we went on student. I guess we did New Statendam twice, right? Back to back. Yeah. Dutch Cafe. And hi from the Isle of Man, Caroline Smith. That's really interesting because Isle of Man is a very small little piece there, kind of I think tucked right off the coast of the UK between that and Ireland. And yeah, I'm amazed that someone from the Isle of Man is actually watching our live. So that's really hi Caroline. That's kind of interesting.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, the type of football they'd be watching over there would be different sport than what we watch over here today. We watch football. So Holly Morgan will tell you, you know, it's not soccer, it's football. So that creates a bit of a conflict for us that have 2 footballs in our world. And Sherry is commenting, I guess, on the vlog, saying 10 to 12 hours for a vlog. Wouldn't have the patience.
Same here. Me too. You're right. I'm amazed at how much hard work and how meticulous Mr. Canuck is with it all because, yeah, I definitely don't have that in me.
Yeah, and even after all that time, I still watch it back, and I'm still frustrated because things aren't exactly the way I would like to have them. But at some point, you gotta get them ready and put them on YouTube because yeah, it's a lot of work.
He's a bit of a perfectionist.
Peggy has a question. This is an interesting one. I'd be curious to know from the group, actually. What's our process for checking the deals? Do you have one?
So,
do you want me to put one?
Well, I can just tell you what I've been doing the last few days because, again, when you're looking at all these deals, you know, because we've cruised with so many different cruise lines and they have our email address, they're sending me all these deals that sound wonderful. When you open the email, I was finding 7-day cruises for $399. But you have to do the clicking through, picking a cabin, click through and get through to you get to the final page of what your payment's going to be, because all of a sudden that $399 cruise was turning into a $3,000 cruise. So, you know, just looking at that flashy offer that comes through on the emails or might pop up if you go onto their website automatically, it sounds all good and sometimes it isn't. And then there are some times where I do click through and there doesn't seem to be as many added charges as a specific other one. And it could be the same, like I'm talking about Holland America specifically. I spent some time on their website and I found that there was one cruise that went from $400 to $3,200. Another cruise that started at 500 and something, but was cheaper than the first one that I had priced out when it came to the final stuff. So I guess part of it also is that when we're talking about putting the taxes on, they put the port taxes on. Depending on what ports you're at, depends on what that total is onto your bill, is what I'm assuming is happening, right?
And for us that still go to work and have jobs, my process is a little bit different than probably some folks that are retired, because I kind of have windows that I know I want to travel in during the year. So what I do is I focus on those windows. I go to the cruise lines, I bring up those dates specifically, and I start going through that way. I don't really look for deals. I think I've done this for almost 2 decades now of pricing cruises, and I've kind of moved past looking for the deals. Kind of feel clickbait like to me. I have my cruise spreadsheet. I've got my numbers in it. I kind of go in there and tweak things to see what prices are, so I can see if there's a change in price. So I guess what I do is I find the cruises, itineraries, and times I want to go, and I just kind of babysit and watch the times. And if a perk comes out that makes a sweeter deal, or if the price actually does change and it gets less money, then I can make a decision if I want to book it or hold out. So we've really struggled between the idea of booking farther away to see if that's the best price. Last minute, you get a good price, and it seems the worst time to book is like I would say 9 months out, almost a year out. It seems like the price comes up a bit there up until final payment, then it drops after final payment is due for everyone that's already booked. So we've been trying to book inside 90 days, but as you all know, if you're addicted to cruising, it can be really tough to wait to within 90 days to book your next cruise that you want to have it booked and be looking forward to it for a year or two ahead of time. So yeah, so that's what I kind of do.
Sorry, I was just going to say something that we haven't had a whole lot of luck on, but we've spoke to so many people that are loyal to it and have been really fortunate, is that they book their next cruise while they're currently on the cruise ship, that apparently they've had some phenomenal deals. And so we've spoken to dozens of people, if not more, that really do spend time at that next cruise location on the cruise ship, and they seem to get some pretty amazing deals. We've had friends and family that have done it that have been much more successful than the few times that we've looked into it. So that's always something to keep in mind too. If you're currently on a cruise, they sometimes can give you a better deal than what you can find on the internet.
Yeah, and I think even if you're on the cruise and you can't, even if the price isn't different, a lot of times they'll give you, say, a bigger onboard credit, or sometimes you can buy. We once with Norwegian did one of these deals where you buy future credit on a cruise, and they'll give you the equivalent dollar amount to put against your cruise that you're on at the time. So we've done that before to help pay for tips as like basically free if we booked a next cruise and bought a certificate for another certain amount of money. So there's those type of things. And I was just thinking of Dawn talking about the Sun Princess and us booking the Sun Princess and pricing for Black Friday and how all that works. We did go back last night. We checked to see what the price was because we thought maybe we need to rebook with a better fare if the prices have come down for us. But in our case, that the price that we paid for the Sun Princess, we booked it just a while ago in the last couple of months, was actually less than what it was selling for last night. We checked the price. So it is all very relative to what a good deal is, what the regular price is. I'm not sure if anybody's ever paid regular price or not for a cruise, because it always feels like it's a discount. Just how much of a discount? And Twyla is saying the best deal I have is a haul in America with the crew appreciation. Yeah.
Previously,
and that's only fine because like for us in Canadian dollars, we're talking $40 a day for tips over a 7-day cruise. That's almost $300. So if they throw that in, $300 is a pretty good discount off a cruise that might be costing $2,500–3,000. It's over 10% discount when we get that thrown in. So, and we always pay our tips, and so when you're doing that, then that's nice. That's money you would have spent anyways. That now you're not having to spend. So it really is a true dollar for dollar savings. Yeah. And found the Black Fridays. We got Dom, Josie, I think, on cruises are not really true savings. Yeah, it feels a lot like the same prices you see, and for the cruise line, they can say 40% off one week and 50% off next week. It can be the same price, and they just have changed what the normal fare is, right? So it's kind of a bit of a numbers game, that's for sure. And I see Paula mentions that Norwegian is a good deal, 50% off all guests, third, fourth for free. I didn't look at Norwegian right before. Norwegian's doing something different. I'm not sure Mrs. Canuck knows this or not. I saw this today when I was looking at that 50% off deal for Norwegian. They've changed their free at sea. They now have what's called free at sea plus, which is a brand new thing. It kind of reminds me how Princess went from the plus to the premium as an option. So, with Norwegian, so with that, you get any alcohol on the ship. Doesn't matter what the price is, it's included in your package. You get extra specialty dining as well, is another perk that's included. So, and you get additional money for credits for shore excursions as well. I think that's doubled from what it is in the normal free at sea. So yeah, I didn't go all the way through to see what the extra cost was for the free at sea extra plus that they're doing, but that kind of caught my attention when I was looking at the Norwegian prices today. And we want to get back on Norwegian. We just haven't found the right price yet. So probably while I'm watching football later today, I'll be clicking through cruise prices and seeing if I can see anything for Norwegian. So we'll see what happens. And Paula is saying that sticker shock is real. And for those that might be new to looking at cruises and what we're talking about, basically when you load the website up and you see that sale price saying cruises starting at $99, not many people have ever got a cruise for $99. Trust me.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Sherry says that she's heard from people who gamble a lot that they get. Yeah, so that's a whole world that we've never been part of.
But yes, we've met people on cruises, to your point, Sherry, that have told us that they literally got their cabin for free and they just had to pay their port taxes to come on board because it was a casino offer, because they spend a fair amount of time at the casino. What that threshold is to get that offer, I don't know. I've never had anybody sort of say, well, I gambled 5,000 or 10,000 at the casino, so I got the cruise for free. Nobody's given me dollar amounts. We just know that, if we go to a casino, it's usually once a cruise and it's $50 or $100 between the two of us that we blow. So you don't get an offer if you're only spending that much. I can tell you that. But yeah, a lot of people will get cruise offers and get to cruise for free, or even if it's not free, it might be a casino offer and it'll be an extra savings like 10, 20, 30% off compared to what the average person would be getting. They do that.
Yeah, if anybody knows how much you have to spend to start getting the casino deals, let us know, because we've never seen it. So we clearly never have come close. We have known people, but we don't. I want to know: did they gamble 500? Did they gamble 1,000? Did they gamble 50 and they made it last the whole week because they kept winning and then losing it? I don't know. I'm curious if anybody knows. And Paula is speaking to our hearts as Canadians. They didn't see any specials, but caved for the Sky Princess in January just to get away from the snow.
I can tell you right
in
now.
Canada.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I can tell you right now, Paula, I don't care what the prices are on the cruise. After was supposed to be a 3-hour drive to get to my daughter's house turned into over a 4-hour drive because I was stuck behind a snowplow and driving through wet, slushy, gross weather. I'm telling you, whatever it takes to get me away from this as much as possible, I'll do it. So I totally agree.
Yeah, for us, generally, the farther we get into winter, the more we're willing to pay for a cruise. So just saying here, Lucia and Glenn are just saying the audio on our end, and you're not together. Yeah, we're not together. So if the audio is a little bit off or timing's off, that's why. It's because we're in 2 different spots today.
Sorry.
And Travel Tuesday might bring some sales. So I've never heard of Travel Tuesday. So is that like Tuesday after Cyber Monday?
It is, yes.
Okay.
I know that I was looking at that last year. Mm-hmm. So let's hope. We will keep looking and hopefully find some. You're right, Andrea.
And Lynette says she's looking for Celebrity Med Cruise, finding that they're sold out except for inside cabins, and that their refundable deposit is $1,000 higher than non-refundable. And definitely this is something that's been happening in the cruise industry, especially since the pause, even a little bit before that if you wanted to have, like, a lot of cruises always had refundable deposit, that right up until final payment, you could cancel and get your money back. Princess was famous for that. They were really good for that. But now what they've done is exactly what you say, is they charge more money if you want a refundable deposit. So it's kind of it really is frustrating for sure.
It leaves a little
and that doesn't
bad
surprise me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And James is updating on some football, saying the 49ers 49ers played on Thursday, so they're not playing. So that's why James is here. He's still got his priorities right then. And we've been cruising during a couple of Super Bowls, and the ship's put on a good party. Lots of fun. There you go.
Thanks, Peggy. I thought that maybe they would do something special for that. So that's nice.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they have the main theater just for the Super Bowl with on the big screen, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then we'll have to see whether Mr. Canuck.
I was thinking maybe they'll do it like on the movie Under the Stars, since it's a Caribbean cruise. It's going to be nice and warm and outside there with the bar and the popcorn machine there and the buffet right there. I think that would be the location to do it.
That's a great idea. Every commercial break, I can run down and grab some pizza, but as I'm grabbing pizza, I'll be able to still see the commercial on the big screen. Yeah, it works really well. And we got Jeremy and Cheryl Cruises Adventures saying hi to us. And someone is saying Eagles. Everybody's checking in with their favorite teams. So I don't know. As long as the Dolphins are there, I don't care who they play. And we're going to St. John's in March. Any tips on what weather or what to do? So St. John. So St. John. So just for clarification, I originally thought you meant St. John's as in like U.S. Virgin Islands, but I think now you mean Canada. And I guess the other part of that question I have is, so St. John, New Brunswick or St. John's, Newfoundland? They're actually, one's got an S at the end. So I'm curious. So if it's New Brunswick, I don't have any recommendations except for if it's in March, anywhere in Maritimes in Canada, it's going to be cold.
But hopefully it's the Virgin Islands like you were talking about, because that would be absolutely wonderful. So yeah, we need more clarification. Which St. John?
Yeah, if it's New Brunswick, you're a good chance you've got snow on the ground. Put it that way. If it is Canada. Oh, we got an update on Camilla. That's on the conning stamp saying embarkation was yesterday in San Diego. We love San Diego. We are at sea on the way to Cabo. We'll visit the Grand Dutch Cafe later.
Ooh, nice.
And Camilla's saying that TikTok, I saw that the theater this Tuesday is supposed to be the best day to look for great deals on travel. So maybe we'll have to wait for a Tuesday. So I'll keep looking. I noticed a lot of the deals are kind of funny when they end, because I want to say Holland America's deal. There's a little ticker on their website today saying it's going to end at midnight tonight. Some of them go through till Monday. I know Cunard has deals on, but that's good through to like December 4th or 5th. So they're all a little bit different. But I wonder if they're all going to recycle when we get to Cyber Monday and then Travel Tuesday, I guess it is. Traveling Fool wants to do a Panama cruise, but may need to wait till 25. Norwegian didn't do a good Black Friday sale. If they do better, Christmas, yeah, I may do one. So, yeah, we have some Norwegian frustrations in just finding the right price. That it feels like Norwegian seems to have changed things. You used to be able to cruise with Norwegian, then you could do the free at sea and pay extra and add those perks. Now the default seems to be that the free at sea is always included, so it's a little bit different how they're pricing it now. So the price always looks higher than it used to, I think, years ago. That's been our frustration. We're not sure if we need a drink package on every single cruise. I don't know. For us, a lot of times it's the perks that come with it, like the internet or the tips or the specialty dining. Those kind of really add in. If it's straight drink package, we probably don't need it. But if it includes other things, it kind of can tempt us towards, a couple of drinks a day pays for itself.
Yeah, we really like the Holland America's have it all package, because it gives you short excursions, specialty dining, those sort of things like we tend to do anyways. So it kind of makes the drink package portion of it reasonable.
And Serenity Searchers is just saying hello from Indiana. They enjoy the content. Thanks for what we do.
Thank you very much. How nice.
And we're noticing a lot of people, this vlog series, we seem to be getting a lot of new viewers in that are finding us for the first time, which feels weird to us because we're 200 videos plus in, but there's still people finding us and jumping on board and going back and watching stuff. So we're always excited it's kind of funny when we see a comment, say, from last Europe's trip back in August of 22, after we just got back from this one. It kind of shows us that there's lots of people enjoying all the content and still getting use out of it even now, which is really exciting for us.
Yes, we love that.
And Manitoba is saying hi. Murray and Heather.
Hi, Murray and Heather.
And maybe before I go any further, we're at 2:45. Maybe we should talk about our other cruise that we booked. Does that sound like a plan?
Sure.
Do you want to tell anybody what cruise line you're going on? Because some people thought we didn't really enjoy ourselves with this cruise line. So we're going to go on and give it a try a second time.
Yes. So we have booked on the MSC cruise line again. It is the seashore that we will be taking out of Port Canaveral. Yes, and actually this one sort of was, how would I say it, fell into our lap a little bit. We got a phone call from one of our daughters saying, instead of doing all kinds of Christmas stuff, why don't we do a family cruise later on after Christmas? And so we're very happy about that, and we're excited. We're going to be traveling with some of our children and their spouses, and we're doing that in the new year, not too far in the new year. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, there's snow still on the ground. We're going to be going on MSC again. So it's this sister ship to the seaside that we were on in September. But there is a lot of differences. I've been looking at the deck plan already. And we, to be honest, we had a lot of people that said, wow, you had a good experience. That kind of wasn't their experience, or that's not what they had heard from other people. So we're gonna give it a second try, and see if we get the same type of quality experience we had the first time, or whether we got lucky. So definitely follow along and see whether or not this one goes as well as the first one. If it does, I think it's really going to have it down for us. That MSC is an option for us if this goes well, I'm sure.
Right. We'll give it another try, because we did have a great time on the first one. I mean, there were things that they don't do as well as other cruise lines, but there was things that they do really well that we really enjoyed. So we're willing to try them out again.
Yeah. Donna's saying sorry for something.
No, don't be sorry. We were going to announce it today anyway, so don't feel bad. I think she's saying sorry because she mentioned that we were going on the Sun Princess with her before we had announced it. But yeah, it was getting announced today, so it does not matter at all. It was perfectly fine.
Sherry's telling me that it's worth it for me to put up with the shopping to have you on my arm, honey.
Oh, Sherry, I love you. Thank you.
Francine wants to know if Holland America status matches. I'm going to have to say that as far as I know, that's no. The only one I know that status matches, maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but we know MSC does because we've done it, but I'm not sure if anyone else does.
Yeah. No, I really wish that Holland America did do that, because when we went from our ending our cruising run with Carnival, we were platinum, had done 23 something around that number of cruises, and then we did Holland America for the very first time, and we were there with zero status, no benefits for being seasoned cruisers at that point. But yeah, like Jerry said, the only ones that I'm aware of is also the MSC will do it, but I don't believe Holland America or Princess, Norwegian, none of them do it. But we've cruised with all of them, and they haven't done it.
Paul and Carol are here. Paul and Carol to travel. They're very confused because we're not in the same location.
So Paul and Carol, I am at my daughter's house. I'm here doing a little grandma duty for a few days. So I'm around 3 hours away from home right now. 3 hours on a good day. It took me 4 hours today because I drove through a snowstorm. But yeah, so we are in different locations for a few days. I didn't just get mad and go to my bedroom. I am in a different house.
Linda's saying hi from England. And they've seen the scarf 3 times because they had to go back and watch the video to find the letter.
Sorry.
And Sherry's saying no shower curtain. She's very excited about that on Princess.
Me too. As soon as I realized that they were getting rid of the shower curtains, I'm like, oh, I got to get on this ship. I've got to check out the bathroom. I do fear, though, that I think in order to give us a better shower, they took away the beautiful walk-in closet. But we'll be okay because we're only doing a 7-day cruise. But I loved the Enchanted Princess 22-day cruise we just did with the size of that closet. It was great storage for me, particularly.
Gates is giving you a heads up on Sun Princess is going to have the Butcher's Block, a new specialty restaurant.
Nice.
So Gates knows how much I will enjoy that.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be for me.
And Cheryl says that she loves my spreadsheet. That's something I have to do. If I ever have spare time between all this editing that I've told you about, then the cruise spreadsheet is terribly out of date. I got to get that cleaned up, and I got to get cleaned up for my own purposes for booking cruises, but also a lot of you have asked for it. So stay tuned. When I get that done, I'll have a video and give an update on that. Oh. Scott is here to give us a tip of booking online. Log into your account before looking for deals. You may qualify for a better deal than when you. There you go. So that's a good tip. I've seen that before. That brings back flashbacks of a challenge we've had with a certain cruise line that keeps calling us. So every time we log into our account and we go looking for cruises, which we do a lot of, the cruise line will call us over and over again, wanting to know if we're ready to book. Are we interested? Can they help?
On my cell phone, like constantly. So it's gotten to the point where I've told Mr. Canuck he's not allowed to look at that certain cruise line because I have this same lady, her name's Deborah, and if he's been on looking at a cruise, then I know I'm going to get at least 6 phone calls from her in the next 2 to 3 days. It's amazing. So yeah, I don't really love that part of it.
Yeah, so to Scott's point, I guess I've kind of got in the habit of not logging in when I'm looking for cruises for that reason specifically, that I don't want to trigger something in the back of their process that they're going to start giving us a hard time or spamming us. But I guess that's good to know. If you're looking for a deal, that's the way to do it. Maybe we need to make up like fake accounts to log into the cruise sites.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have your status. So like what Scott's referring to, because now that we've cruised with Holland America as often as we've had, I'm considered a 3-star status. I think that's what it's called. And I do get special emails with more discounted fares than if I just go on the Holland America site itself. So I have seen some better deals because of that. So yeah, I think cruise lines do that. So it's a good point.
Yeah, and if you're getting close to booking a cruise, then check out Scott's videos. He's got some really good ship tours. So if there's a ship that you want to go that he's covered, they're beautiful ship tours. I'm very jealous of them. I tell Scott this all the time, but it's very true. Carol wants to know if we have any secrets to booking flights. If we go through a certain airline company, how do you do it? So I guess I'll take this one in that. Oh, do you want to go first?
I just want to say one thing. I don't know the strategy. Jerry has a strategy. He's often looking at it. But what I will say when it comes to flights is when you find the deal, book it and book it then. Because there's been more than once that Jerry has said, oh, I found this flight for whatever amount of money. And by the time he talks to me later in the night or the next morning when we wake up, it's gone. So there's been a few times where it's like, oh, we could get on this flight for $300 and something. And the next day we go to book it and it's now $600.
Yeah, for sure. Like that happened to us actually just 2 days ago. We just booked a flight 2 days ago for our group cruise. Finally, we're actually going to be there, and we looked it up, and it was like, wow, this price is like half of what we saw before. And literally, we booked it. We didn't even hesitate. We booked it. So that's the days we want to go. We're booking this. So, but the process I usually use is I go to a generic site that has all airlines, like something like an Expedia. I search for where I want to go, what days I want to go. I kind of play with the days to see if I can get it cheaper or more expensive. But then my final part of my booking process, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go directly to the airline and then I'll price out the same flight directly from the airline's website, because I found sometimes I'll get it a little bit less. Usually it's the same price. The odd time it's more. But what we have found that if you have any problems with your flight, with cancellations or having to do anything, that you're better to have booked with the actual airline. They'll tell you that if you would have booked with us, we could have did this for you. But since you didn't, we've had those situations that we can't get something refunded or changed or done because we didn't book directly with the airline. So we usually kind of window shop with other websites. Then when we have an idea what flight we're going to book, we go right to the actual airline and we book it directly, as long as we can get the same price. The odd time we can't and we have to book with a third party site. But that's my strategy usually.
and that really helped us during the pause of traveling for sure, that we had quite a few airline flights booked, and we were able to not have to deal with it, whereas we had some friends that had booked on the same flight with us, but they had used a different search engine, and they struggled with trying to get a refund for a lot longer than what we did with dealing directly with the airline. So that's a part of that too, the little bit of insurance that that gives us.
Try to click on the next one. Sherry's just saying something that caught my attention there. She's talking about Google Flights. So I have used this, and what'll happen is you can actually set like a reminder. So like every once in a while, if the flight price changes, they'll send you a reminder that the flight's changed. So I did this as an experiment a couple months ago, and Mrs. Canuck is still getting updates on flights to Jamaica for January of this year, because I was looking at a Morella cruise months ago. And so they're still sending us updates of what the price is to go to Jamaica from Toronto. Yeah, and Kylie has the same question as us. She's always want to know how much people gamble to be able to get the deals for the gambling, because we don't know. Oh, Nancy's giving us, we're getting some value here, so we might get some numbers here as we get to this part.
Wow.
Nancy's sister never spends more than $50 in the casino and gets a lot of casino offers throughout the year. Maybe we need to, I think we've only ever gambled on mostly Carnival. I don't think we've done a lot of other cruise lines. Maybe we need to start doing other cruise lines.
Yeah, we did with Princess once, but that was before we were vlogging. Our very first Princess, remember, we spent an evening in the on formal night. This is what Princess used to do, but now we've seen that it's not a thing. But when we were on our very first Princess ship, the 2 formal nights that they had, the casino turned into a non-smoking venue, which for us was lovely. So we had met friends on the cruise that were going to the casino most evenings. So we went with them one night and spent, we left our healthy deposit there and had a good time. But yeah, we haven't done much of it.
Tony says he gambled about $500 on Carnival, didn't lose it all. I'm not sure there's a typo there. No getting free offers. So that means or is he now getting free offers? I'm not sure if he's missing a T or a W there.
It sounds like now.
So
now
I'd be curious.
Free offers.
Yeah. And Scott says he has a whole spreadsheet on casino deals, and he says there's no rhyme or reason. It's just a rabbit hole. Try to figure it
out. Okay.
And Paul and Carol are bragging that we're talking about driving in the snow, and they're talking how they're going to the Caribbean next week. So we wish we could join them on.
Jealous.
Yeah, we really wanted to go on that Azamara cruise, and probably if we wouldn't have just came back from the Mediterranean, we would have been there with them. But unfortunately, the timing was not right for us. And Sherry is saying that she has cruises booked through March of 25, one with a 0 solo supplement, which is a really good deal then, and one to Japan as well. Yeah, so yeah, that's an interesting one, because a lot of times the solo supplement, the major cruise lines a lot of times won't offer it until they get farther into the booking process after even final payment. So if you can get that well ahead of time, that's really good news, because a lot of people travel solo, or in the case of Mrs. Canuck, she wants to have a separate cabin from me one day if she can get it for the same prices. So
yes, if anybody sees good deals on solo supplements, let us know, because I dream of, I'm okay even with having an adjoining cabin with but I dream of the day that Mr. Canuck and I can go on a 7-day or a longer cruise, and he has his own bathroom and I have my own bathroom and my own closet, and yeah, that sort of thing. So I think it would just be lots of extra square footage, and it's great. I call him a bathroom hog in the morning. Just saying.
I don't want my own cabin, but it sounds like I'm getting kicked out. Oh, Don's saying that Princess didn't charge extra for refundable deposits, so that's good. And Joe is not making any friends with me. He's cheering on the Bills, that's for sure. Of course, being a Dolphins fan, the Bills have always been arch enemies, especially since the 90s, and we know what happened there. I'm just saying that Princess or Paul and Carol commenting on Princess. They've done that for the big football matches in the UK with a big pool screen. Yeah, so they've done it on the outdoor screen that you were talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we got an update on St. John. So it is New Brunswick.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, you definitely will have snow. Make sure you have some good winter gear. You'll definitely have snow in March. I've only ever been to St. John once before, years and years ago. So I can't, and years and years ago. So I can't really comment on what to do there. Sorry.
Scott is saying that drink packages are a must. My problem is if you're cruising like 8 or 9 times a year and you're on a ship for 60, 70 days a year. I'm not sure if I need to. I guess it's how you manage the drink package. Maybe that's the different conversation. Is how do when you do a long-term cruise, the drink package, I don't think you can go as crazy as you do like on a 5 or 7 day Caribbean cruise. We get the drink package. It's a different monster.
Yeah, makes a difference.
I'm just going through questions here. I know we're getting towards the end, so I just want to see some comments here. Kylie is saying that another MSC is very interesting, that we're booked an MSC. Mm-hmm. So we're going to show you everybody what it looks like. Hello, Virgin. Oh, here we go. So Kylie says she thinks that Virgin also does the status match. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I think I heard that too. Now that you say that, I think I've heard that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I did not know this. I'm going to have to follow up on this one. So Paulo says that Celebrity and Royal will status match if you're platinum or above. So like platinum or above on another cruise line, like because Celebrity and Royal are the same entity, right? So you can carry over your status from Royal to Celebrity. So I'm not sure if that's what you mean, because I know they do that because they're the same corporation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which we wish that Carnival Corporation would do, because we're platinum with Carnival Cruise Line, so that you would like to be having that same status with Holland America, for instance. The same company owns both cruise lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Carol, it says Paul and Carol on the screen, but Carol specifically, I'm sure, wrote this, that she wishes 10 to 12 was as efficient as me. So that means Carol must have been longer than that. So I've got to get Carol trained up on the new software.
There you go. You're going to have to do a little Da Vinci Code or Resolve software training with Jerry.
So Kylie says something really interesting. She's saying the benefits of travel booking through a VPN. So a VPN, for those who aren't as tech savvy, is where you can kind of disguise where you are, where your computer is, where you're looking at stuff from, right? And that kind of that reminds me of something that we came across a couple of years ago. We were looking at booking a P&O cruise out of the UK, and it was dirt cheap. It was so amazing, and I think it's because they only thought people from the UK were going to book it in the UK, so it was a UK price. But when I tried to book it, they said, "Oh, you can't book it. You have to book it through someone in North America." So we looked at the North America price, and it was like 4 or 5 times the price to book the same P&O cruise that we could have booked out of the UK. So yeah, I see, Kylie, that I'm sure that you can find that. I even find that sometimes with flights and different things here in Canada, that if they think that I'm in the States, I can get a different price than if I'm in Canada. So that is definitely a game that's being played.
Mm.
If Scott makes an interesting comment, he says seems like flights are getting less expensive. We definitely found this when we just booked our flights for our group cruise, that we probably got the best deal on flights that we've had in a while. So hopefully we're starting to see that trend the other direction, because like after the pause, when travel was kind of ramping back up, flights were getting crazy expensive as everybody was getting back to traveling again. Paul and Carol or not Paul and Carol, Rob and Jan are saying that prices are volatile with flights, and you have to have a good idea of prices, what they are ahead of time before you book, because they fluctuate so much. And that's why we never go on and just book a flight with the first price we see, unless it's like obviously really cheap, that we kind of keep an eye on it and look back and forth. And we have a rough idea of how much a flight costs from all the travel we do. So it's kind of easy for us that, and if it is cheap, then yeah, book it right away, because sometimes you even wait a few hours and those seats are gone. the latest game the flight companies are playing is that they will say there's only 2 or 3 seats left at this price. So they'll sell those out, and then the price will go up $25 or $50, and then there'll only be 3 or 4 left at that price. So when they sell those few, the price goes up again. So it's not like they have 100 seats and they're all the same price. They happen to have sold 95 of them. They're literally bumping the price, I think, every time a few people book that flight. So that's what they're doing. When you see those only 2 or 3 left at this price, it's meant to create urgency for you to book a flight. And I think it works. So Pam is saying only one of us needs to gamble. So you both don't have to gamble to get that. So that's good to know. I can send Mrs. Canuck off to the casino while I watch the football game.
I don't want to. I was just gonna say I'll send you there every night because I don't want to hang out in the smoky casino. So I'll volunteer you for that.
And another option, sometimes you can get a deal, but sometimes you have to be very wary. James and Kimmy are talking about booking flights with the cruise line. We've heard horror stories of how the flights are booked so close to the time of the cruise, like same day, that you don't get there and you miss your cruise. We've heard other cruise lines where there's flexibility. You can choose the dates you want to go and book with them as well. So, excuse me, a lot of that depends on the cruise lines. So just know what you're getting into before you do that you want that flexibility, because, yeah, we don't like it when a cruise line books the flights for someone and flies them out of Toronto at 9 o'clock in the morning and says they're going to be in Florida at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You get on your cruise, because it doesn't take much of a delay before you're missing your cruise. So you have to be very weary of that for sure. But sometimes you can get a better price.
I was just going to say, especially if you're traveling in the winter months from snowy places like we always are out of Canada or northern Michigan area. You know, there's been more than once we've shown up to the airport to be told that, yeah, our flight's not leaving that day and we'll try again tomorrow because we're all the flights have been canceled due to weather. So that's part of our strategy, is we don't book a flight that's going on the same day as the cruise is leaving. We usually try to give ourselves a couple of days buffer if we can.
Jack is saying that he's finding that the flights also are getting cheaper. So maybe the COVID bubble is done with all the crazy flight prices and so forth. So hopefully that's what's going on for sure. Paul and Carol said they love a drink package, but they're also saying that sometimes it's cheaper to pay as you go. And we're starting to see that on some cruise lines that we've done the math afterwards, thinking we probably could have just paid for drinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the last question we're going to get to is from Mick, and see if Mrs. Canuck thinks of this. Are we going to consider booking another Marella cruise?
Absolutely. Can't wait to get on another Marella ship. We've been looking, even just as of 2 or 3 days ago, we were looking at trying to get on Marella's ship. So yes, we had a fabulous experience. Absolutely fabulous. Probably one of the most fun ships we've ever been on. And so we are constantly talking about getting back on a Marella. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it happens sooner than later.
Yeah, we keep trying. We just can't get it to work out. Marella going out this past year, but they're not doing that the next year or two. So we're scrambling to figure out how we can get on Marella again, but we definitely want to. It's just a matter of can we.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the end of the questions. So we'll call it there. We're over our hour already, but thanks for everybody from joining. And any last words, Mrs. Canuck, from way far away?
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining. We appreciate that. I know it might have been a little bit glitchy with Jerry and I talking back and forth and the delay and all of that. So we appreciate everybody that's tuned in and watched. And I hope for all of our American friends, you guys had a great weekend. And now I get to go play with the baby. I could hear a few minutes ago that he woke up from his nap. So I'm going to go have a little bit of grandma time.
Yeah, so enjoy Thanksgiving. I'm going to go join some football with some of you as well. And if you do find a Black Friday deal or a Cyber Monday or a Travel Tuesday, then definitely let us know. We're always looking for deals as well. And if we get something that we can tell the group, that's even better still. So have a great week, everybody. We'll be back next Sunday. And until there, good luck shopping for some cruises. Bye.